Thanks for joining us here on Capitol Tonight. I'm Augustine Garfias. Tonight, Texas Republican leaders are more confident than ever that a school voucher bill will pass this legislative session. But school voucher opponents aren't backing down. Parents and teachers from across the state gathered at the Texas Capitol today to protest the multiple school voucher proposals in front of the legislature. The Senate chamber swiftly approved its version while the lower chamber's bill awaits action. Our Aaron Davis has the details.
Trinity, a fourth grader from San Antonio, is on a Capitol field trip focused on advocacy.
Something that I've learned today is that our education has been put at risk.
She traveled with her great-grandmother Dolores to hear directly from their lawmaker the impact school vouchers would have on their district.
We are seeing lots of closures in the San Antonio community presently.
They joined hundreds of members of the Texas Parent Teachers Association to rally against two proposals in the legislature that would allow tax dollars to be spent at private schools.
We are calling it in the House the Texas two-step.
House leadership is touting two educational proposals. The first, House Bill 2, increases the state's contribution to the per-pupil allotment from $6,160 to $6,380, a $200 increase that some educators say is not enough and characterize the proposal as a slap in the face.
It's not being raised to cover the many years. It hasn't been raised since 2019.
The second step in the lower chamber's plan is their school voucher bill, which allows a student to receive 85% of what public schools get for each student through state and local funding, which is around $12,800.
House Bill 3 delivers what Texas have been asking for, a true universal school choice program. And let me be clear, we have the votes to get it done.
Speaker Dustin Burrows is confident the House can pass its voucher bill, but the funding model is different from the Senate's plan that provides a set amount of $10,000 to most participating students, which could be a point of contention.
If kids only have one school option and it's bad, then they don't have a chance.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is confident some form of vouchers will make it through both chambers. In previous sessions, school voucher bills failed due to concerns from rural Republicans in the House worried about a decrease in funding to their districts. Governor Greg Abbott helped to unseat many Republicans opposed to vouchers, but Texarkana Representative Gary Van Dever won his re-election and spoke against vouchers at Monday's PTA rally.
That has never been good policy, and it never will be.
Families that rallied at the Capitol hope voucher supporters address their concerns.
Our dollars are going to support these school systems, and I think it's time that we are more aware of what's going on in our community.
For Capitol Tonight, I'm Aaron Davis.
And joining us as always this Monday, we have Harvey Kronberg, publisher of the Quorum Report. Harvey, happy Monday. Welcome in.
Good to be back, Augustine.
Since we last saw you, the House filed its school voucher bill, and one of the key differences from the Senate's plan is the amount of money given to families to pay for private schools. The Senate is offering that set amount of $10,000, but the House plan would give families 85% of what public schools get per student. Do you see a path forward here, or do you think this could be a sticking point for lawmakers?
I'm pretty sure I see a path forward on this. The House was never going to accept the Senate plan. The Senate plan is essentially a school scholarship or voucher plan that includes some funding for schools, and the House plan is essentially a plan to provide money for schools that also happens to include vouchers. The emphasis on the House side is very much pro-public school. The feeling on the Senate side is that this is the minimum we're going to have to do in order to be able to get House support.
During the last legislative session, the governor refused to increase public school funding without also passing a voucher bill. This session, he's confident he has the votes to pass the vouchers, and therefore we assume he's going to be ready to approve some major funding to schools. But given the differences between the House and Senate's voucher bills, do you think that the governor will withhold a funding increase again or allow one policy without the other?
Well, that's why I think we're going to see school funding in the same bill as vouchers. Because frankly, there's no reason for anybody in the House to trust the governor after the assault he did on incumbents this last time around, and specifically because he lied about their record on the border as an excuse to get them beat on vouchers. As a result, they're not going to be, I don't believe they're going to be two separate bills. They're going to be essentially one bill, and it'll be a take it or leave it for the governor since he has proven that he is willing to go to the mat for something, and he does need a win.
Just today, hundreds of parents and teachers were outside the Capitol. They were pushing against vouchers and calling for more public school funding. They even heard from rural Republican Representative Gary Van Dever. Despite the governor's confidence that he has the votes, do you think outcry from the public, rural Republicans and Democrats could play a factor in passing or not passing vouchers?
I don't think they're going to have very much, at this stage, the public doesn't have very much sway one way or the other. The only thing that Republicans currently care about is their primary voters, and their primary voters are persuaded that public schools are bad and that vouchers is the remedy. And so, I mean, that's the formula, the equation that you're looking at when you go into this session as a lawmaker.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.